Okay, so hello everyone. Let's just give it a few minutes, 2 more minutes, and wait for everyone to sign up to join us. Just to make sure, can anyone hear me? You can just type your answer here. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, so I think we have enough people right now. Let's go ahead and start. Okay, so welcome. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to this introduction to automated trading. My name is Alfonso Medina, and I'm on behalf of AutoTrading Factory. So this is what we're going to see today. First, we're going to present ourselves as a company, and then we're going to go into automated trading definition, its advantages over manual, how we are going to operate it step by step. Then we're going to see the MetaTrader, which is a trading platform used for automated trading. And then we're going to go over a practical example. We're going to also run a backtest and optimization example as well. So AutoTrading Factory is a Spanish startup in the fintech sector. The fintech sector is a group of companies, tech companies, that provide financial services. We are specialized in the development of automated systems. These are expert advisors, indicators, or any type of systems that our clients want to develop. We help them in that first step from the idea to the final program developed. We are currently trying to establish a community for automated trading, and also an online shop where you'll be able to find products of general interest. If you want to take a look, you can go to autotradingfactory.com. So my name is Alfonso Medina. As I said, I am an economics and finance major at Bentley University, currently studying abroad at Barcelona, and an intern at AutoTrading Factory. If in case you wanna contact me, this is my email. So let's get to it right away. The definition of automated trading. An automated trading system is a computer program which, with previously defined rules, will operate autonomously as market events occur. This means that it will detect what happens in the market in order to open a buy order or a sell order in the most simple way. This type of programs have to be defined precisely. So an example of a precise definition of it is to buy when the RSI, which is an overbought and oversold indicator, rises above the oversold level, situated at 30. So their definitions cannot be unambiguous. Cannot be ambiguous. For example, buy when it starts to rise. They have to be as precise as possible. And I just want to make sure that everyone knows that everyone can operate automated trading systems. You don't have to be a big institutional client. You only need your computer. So going into some market features in order to give a little bit of background here. We see a picture of what many consider to be the past. here in an open outcry, a broker is trying to fulfill an order that was received by an investor or a trader. Um, I just want to make sure here that we understand that we're always going to follow the same procedure. An investor is sending an order to a broker, and the broker fulfills that order in the market. So this is what presently happens. Many traders now have access to technology where they have wide option of information for investment decisions, and then through trading platforms, also in these machines, they can connect to the broker and send their orders that are going to be later fulfilled in the market. And this is what many envision for the future. Here's a data center where many servers are stored and where many believe it's going to be the place where automated trading systems are going to be stored when people want to run them constantly and 24 hours a day. So, as you have seen, despite the change stage, the figures remain the same. You still have an investor that's sending an order to a broker, and the broker fulfills that order in the market. Today, as we mentioned, traders use trading platforms to trade through brokers, and these are going to be the same platforms that we're going to use for automated trading. So here another picture, you can see how the investor sends the order to the brokers fulfill them in the market, and then when they are executed, the investors can see their gains and losses in real time. Again, here the market, place to trade assets. An example is the euro-dollar currency pair. Then we have the broker who has the market access. We have many of them. And then we have the platform, which is a method to connect the investor to the broker. In our case, we're going to be seeing an example of MetaTrader 4, which is used for manual as well as automated trading. Then we have the investor, the trader, would be you in this case. So here it is important to point out that your trading program is going to be operating locally. Locally in your computer, meaning that it will send orders from your trading platform through the internet to your broker that is going to be later fulfilling those orders in the market. I bring this point because it's very important to notice that once your computer is shut down, once you close your trading platform, this means that it will stop sending orders to your broker. So in case that you want to protect yourselves from shutdowns, restarts, actualizations of software, many people recommend to use virtual private servers. Many companies like us provide this service in order for people to have a remote machine that operates at all time, and you don't have to worry about your computer restarting or shutting down, and there you can have your program running at all times and sending orders to your broker. So going in a little more deeper into the definition of automated trading, many people relate automated trading with high frequency trading, which is a part of it, and how massive volumes of orders can get fulfilled at the best prices possible. However, you can operate an automated system that does only 2 operations in a year. And an automated trading system is just another tool. The rules of the game are still defined by the trader. Another synonyms of automated trading systems are auto trading, algorithmic trading, quantitative trading. Automated trading programs are usually called expert advisors, and these are going to be the programs that we're going to see running in an example that we're going to later implement. So these are some advantages of working with automated trading. So you've most probably seen the 3 M's of investing, where people consider method, having a strategy of when to jump in, jump out, money management when mitigating risk by minimizing risk and maximizing returns at the same time, and also the mind portion, which people relate to the psychological factors and emotions, this being the major part and the part that affects the most your final results. So the advantages of these automated programs is that you free the trader's mind from the market. So the classics fear and greed are not as important as before for your final returns, and then you're going to centralize every success in the methodology and money management strategies that you have. There's also less time spent on the market and monitoring it. And also there's another good tool that you can use, which is the backtest, where you can validate your strategy in a program with historical data. And you can check for years in only a few minutes. We will later run an example of this. So now we're gonna go over operating automated step by step. So there are 5 steps that we personally recommend to strictly follow. The first one is define the trading system that you wanna develop. Then is developing the system, then checking for its effectiveness, then trying to run in the demo account, and if it's successful, running it on a real account, and then coming back to it in case you want to just make it better, or if it's working or not. So the first one is the definition. Here's where we start from an idea, and we need to have clear what is our trade system going to be based on, maybe based on trends, ranges, breakouts, etc. And we need to see how feasible is that going to be, the specific rules that we want to apply. And it's always necessary to consider as a minimum what needs to happen in the market in order to enter a position, as well as exit a position. Also, if you're going to have modified trading stop orders, stop loss, take profit orders, and if you're going to have fixed or variable lots for every transaction that happens. Once the operation of the system has been confirmed, that type of system should be set out in a document that defines its entire operation. So then it comes to the development part. So this is where it's going to divide into 2 parts, depending if you know how to code or if you do not know how to code. So if you know how to code, then just go ahead and put the rules in order to achieve the trading system that you want. And if you do not know how to code, then you would have to entrust this to a third party. So an example of a third party can be companies like us that get the strategy that you want to implement from the basic idea and then delivers you a software um, where you can see and where you can validate the strategy that you want. So always make sure that in advance the company that offers you after sales that company offers you after sales services, in order to avoid misunderstandings, and maybe they give you a software that you were not expecting according to the parameters that you set out before. So then we have third step, which is validation. Here is the step number 2 is where we make sure that the program does what it was supposed to do. However, in the step number 3 is where we validate how effective it is, how profitable it can be. And here through backtest tools, we can validate it based on historical quotations. We can also use the optimization tool, which is something that we're not going to go into as deeply, but is only a methodology that lets you combine the best set of parameters that's going to give you the best version of the strategy that you're currently implementing. We're going to also run an example of that at the end. And then if the system is effective, we proceed to operate it on a demo account. Many people just leave it running there for a few weeks and then see if the results are as expected. And otherwise, you would have to return to step 1 in order to redefine the system and evaluate changes. So after trying it on a demo account and see if it works as expected, you would have to run it in a real account. Then if it's if there are discrepancies from the demo account and the backtest, like maybe too low of a spread, or maybe you chose too much data or too little data to to run it against, you would have to repeat the test with data more similar to reality. We always encourage you to make sure that you know that it's efficient before operating on a live account with real money. So the final step is monitoring your trading system. Despite the great weight removed, we recommend that it should not be excessively relied upon. The function of the system should always be analyzed on a regular basis. You have to come back and try to detect inefficiencies because of market changes maybe, and try to make new improvements as you track the system. And in either case, you would have to always go back to step one by applying the changes. So now we're going to introduce the trading platform mainly used for automated trading, which is MetaTrader 4, regarded by many as the best one for this type of systems. So MetaTrader 4 is a trading platform used by many brokers. The strength of this platform is that it lets you operate through the known expert advisors, and the expert advisors are going to be the automated programs that we're going to be using for automated trading. These programs are programmed in a language specific to the platform called MQL4. Um, these programs can be loaded on the platform and be used to operate in an automated way. Also, the platform itself lets you validate this type of programs with the backtest tool that we already touched upon. Then this is something very important we have to point out first. These are the two levels that need to be clear in order to enable or disable an automated program. Once you have it in your platform, the first and the main door is the red light or the green light. So if you have the red light, it means that no automated program is running at that time. If you have the green light, then you have the permission of the automated program to run at that specific time. Then, specific to every single expert advisors, you have the check mark. So you can choose if you want to allow them to work automatically, like here or not. So something very important is that you can have, for example, 5 expert advisors in your trading platform, and you can only have 3 of them running, maybe by having 3 checks and this bottom green. At the same time, you can also have those 5 same programs running, not running but checked. However, they're not going to be running if the light is red. So this is system that the MT4 platform formulated. So this is the name of the expert advisors that's going to be running at the moment. If it's not running, you're going to see a sad face, meaning that the auto trading is turned off. If it's running, you're going to see a smiley face, meaning that it is activated. And you're going to see that at the top right corner of your graph. So these are some of the parameters that you will see from the expert advisors once you have it in. Um, Here, for example, we can change the values um, from 50 pips to 30, 20, or 10. We can also set the volumes and of the lots, as well as make changes to trading stops and many other things. So the backtest, as we already discussed, this is a tool used to estimate the effectiveness of the automated program in a very short time. It is essential always to perform a backtest and to analyze any trading system. So here is an example of a main window that you'll see once you want to start a backtest. I apologize that this window is in Spanish, but we're gonna later run an example of one in English. So don't worry, here is where you choose your expert advisor, what you wanna run it against, Here we have an index. You can run it against currency pairs as well. The method you want to use, the dates, time frames, and also spread. As the backtest is running, this is what you'll see in the graph part. This will give you very basic view of what is going on to your balance while it's running. And here, this is the final result. Again, this is Spanish. Don't worry, we will see an English example. Here you can see your net profits at the end, your absolute drawdown, the percentage of short positions that were successful, as well as the long ones. And yeah, now we're gonna run a practical example of all of this. Let's see. Okay, here it is. So this is the MetaTrader 4. When you enter it, this is what you'll basically see. A graph of whatever you choose, then all the quotes provided by your specific broker here to the left. The navigator, where you can choose indicators, expert advisors, and then what we really want to see here is an example of first a backtest. So in order to open a backtest, you have to go here to the strategy tester. Once you click that, a window like this will open. So I've already clicked that. So let's say, for example, that I want to choose an expert advisor. Yeah. And we're going to choose one that comes by default with the MT4 moving average, just in case you want to test it by yourself. This is a demo account, so you can do it by yourself as well. And then we want to choose a symbol that we want to test it with, a euro dollar currency pair, for example. Then the model. Here we have three different ones. We always recommend the every tick, which is the most precise one, even though it is the one that lasts the most for the back test. This is a medium level of that, and here is the less precise one, but the fastest one. But we recommend the every tick. So we use a date. We choose from when we want to start until when we want to finish the back test. So something very important here is the way it is configured. So if you leave the 1970 January 1st, you're gonna have results for present date today. This is the way how the platform's configured. So if you leave it like that, you're gonna have results from November the 1st, 2017 until today. Here we choose the time frame. We're choosing 1 hour, and then the spread. Here is important to say that MT4 only saves all the bits. So for all the historical quotations. So in order to generate the asks, you would have to choose a spread that you would like. Maybe one similar to pre-market conditions. Maybe if we choose a 0.5 pips for now. Let's bring this a little bit up. Okay. So now if we go to export properties, this is where we're gonna see the parameters. So here we see that it's based on a moving period of 12 with a moving shift of 6. So we hit OK. And then if we hit visual mode, here's where we're going to be able to see how it is going graphically. So it's going to be drawing a graph for us, and we're going to be seeing what has happened through the years, the months, by running historical quotations test. So here I'm supposed to have something about velocity, something that skips that velocity by drawing the candles a little bit faster or slower. However, I don't have it here. Running technical issues today because I'm operating in a Mac today. Usually operate this in a Windows, but what you would normally see here is a button to fast forward or not throughout the years in terms of how it is drawing the candles. So if we hit start, it will take you to another window. Now we have to wait for updates. It's taking all the historical quotations. Give it a few seconds. Okay, while we wait, does someone has a questions? You can type them down here. I have a question from Lando, saying, "Hey, what is that MQL again?" It's MQL4, the programming language. And then I have another question from Simon. He's asking an MT4, can you add multiple oscillators or indicators as part of the trade execution rule? Yes, definitely. You can program that in the specific trading program that you want. Okay, so here we can see that it started to work already. It is currently drawing the candles, and here we can see that it's slowly doing that. Even if it stays on the moving average, like we saw, it's not going to bring that to the graph. So we would have to do it ourselves. Indicators, trends, moving average. Then we're going to have it red, period of 12, chips of 6. Here we have it. So even though it is drawing the candles very slowly, we can fast forward that. However, I cannot do it right now, but the general rule here is that with this expert advisor, for example, you can see here, it will detect when a candle opens above the moving average, and if it closes below the moving average, it's going to open a sell order. So we would have seen here, usually we see a red arrow showing that order, and inversely that would happen for a buy order. So that is what basically happens. For the sake of time, then let's just run a backtest without the visual mode. So this will allow us to generate the backtest faster. So okay. So as you can see, here's the graph of your current balance, the gains, the losses that would have as time goes on and as orders are fulfilled. This is a summary of all the orders with the volumes at the time that were time and price were executed. Then when the backtest is finalized, like right now, we can go to a report. And here is the interesting part. Here's where you can see all the statistical data that's going to be useful for you. You can see your gross profit, your net profit, percentage of successful short positions as well as the long ones, consecutive wins. The absolute drawdown, total trades. And here you can see your initial deposit. Total net profit is 295.85. So here's just it's a very important part of backtest, the final report. You see if it's successful or not. The journal here's where you'll be able to see if you have any errors or alerts. So let's run now an optimization example. So we saw with the backtest net profit that we finally had. Now with the optimization, we are going to find the best set of parameters that are going to give us the most successful version of our program. So again, we now hit the optimization button. We leave the dates exactly as they were, the currency pair, the expert advisor, and the model. Then we go to expert properties, and here's where it's going to change. It's important to point out, I forgot to point it out before, but here you can try with an initial deposit depending on what you want, maybe $10,000 or maybe 1,000 euros, for example, long and short positions and all that. So here's the part that we want to take care of for the optimization. Um, let's say that we want to optimize the moving period to see what is the best parameters that we could have for the most successful version of this program. So first, let's bring this to 0 to have fixed movement shift, and then save it like that. And then this is from where we're going to start. So let's say that we want to run test for moving average of 5 through 50 with increments of 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20, etc. So we're going to have 10 different tests run at the same time. And at the end, we're going to give it's going to give us a report with the best one. So here we have the starting one, 5, then increments of 5 until 50. So we hit OK. Let's make sure this checkbox is checked. So we hit OK. And now this disables the visual mode. So let's go start. Okay, so it's running now. This will open 2 extra windows here. Here's where you're gonna see the results of what is happening according to every single one of the combinations possible. Okay, let's give it some time. So something important that I want to point out that we should have done before is before you even start the optimization, um, you'd have to disable the skip useless results. So this means that if the results are not positive, then it will skip them. Um, I've already disabled that. Just would have to start. So now we can see here um, different combinations, the results of different combinations. So here with a moving period of 5, we see that we have had a loss of 1,600. And then with a moving period of 10, we have a loss smaller than that, then smaller. Here's where it starts to get positive. So with a moving period of 20. And then the max profit is set with a moving period of 25. Then we see another good one with a moving period of 35. So this gives you a good background of the parameters that you would want to have for the best version possible. This is a very simple example only of the moving average. So let's see if it's done. Yep, it's done. Okay, so here we saw that the best one is the moving period 25. Now it's organized in the best ones to the worst ones. So let's see, if we select the best one, it's going to automatically input that right here. So you can run your backtest again with that parameter according to what. So it gives you a background of then you can play with that many more parameters depending on how complicated or simple your program is. So that was an example of backtest and also an optimization. This is let's open now the floor for questions. Oh no, wait. So why would you want to know about automated trading? What is the relevance of automated trading? So what we covered today is just a small part of it. So according to many studies, people believe that 60 to 70% of investment decisions only in the US are executed by machines. And these are figures that are growing exponentially. This can be programs that help you to price certain assets, to execute large volumes of orders at the best possible price, and also to mitigate risk. Um, so it is important, very important, to at least know what these programs are, either if you are a novice or an already experienced trader. So yeah, now we're gonna open for questions. I have a question from Ravi. Is MetaTrader freely available? Yes. At least the demo account, it is available. You can um, play with it like we have with the backtest tools and optimization as well. So yeah, it is completely free. Usually the broker provides you with a platform once you have signed up with them. Again, the MetaTrader 4 is a platform used by many brokers. I have a question from Raul. He's asking, so with this expert advisor, there's no need to program the bot. The expert advisor is a result of what you have already programmed. So yes, you would have to program the system that you want and a name that is an expert advisor. So yeah, you would have to go through all the process of programming your strategy. In the end, that is going to be named an expert advisor. And then I have a question from Lando. This is something that we went over. I was doing the optimization. He's asking, by skipping useless results, you mean skip the losses or what exactly? So yeah, we saw already that that means skipping the losses. Okay, any more questions? Well, um, well, thank you for joining us today in this introduction to automated trading. My name is Alfonso Medina. It was a pleasure from AutoTrading Factory. If you want to check us out, don't forget to go to autotradingfactory.com. And thank you. Have a good rest of the day.